previously some of you asked, how do you do this? How do you... Well, that's it. And basically, this book, this text, well, Nagarjuna's text, actually 27 chapters, not just those 6. Basically, what it is a meditation guide. Where ideally, you have a book in front of you, you read a verse, understand it, of course, read a verse, and meditate on it. What does it tell me? And just internalize it. And then go to the next, and go to the next. And in that way, you cover so many aspects. What is the I? What is, like I said before, our sense of I actually is a collage of many different ideas. Man, woman, having a nationality, belonging to a community, having a religion, so it's like a collage, which is just, when we say label, it's actually just a thought. I am this. Label doesn't necessarily mean I'm now applying the word and I'm verbally expressing it. Labeling is really just the thought. I'm this, I'm that. And especially with the self, with the I, we're reinforcing that all the time in our interaction with other people, all day long. We keep saying, I'm like this, I'm like that, depending on what people tell us who we are, and depends on the reaction of other people. Not just other people, of course, whether we're able to do something or not able to do something. So we label, and there's nothing wrong. We're not labeling. But oftentimes we get stuck in believing that's who I am. Because it seems, it's nothing to do with me calling myself this, that, and the other. Okay, saying I'm a man, I'm a woman, I'm Israeli, in relation to something specific, of course. But we believe there's something within me. I am a woman. As if this womanness is something separate, it's something right here. And all other women, my womanness is the same as other women's womanness. And if they're wronged, I'm wronged. Okay? That doesn't mean we shouldn't sympathize and do something when someone else is wronged, but just because they're a woman, I'm a woman, I don't care about man. That's extreme. Okay? Identifying so strongly with I'm this, I'm that, our gender, our nationality, our community, as if there were truly something there and that's truly more important. That's where all the trouble comes from. So you really check. Your sense of identity cannot be found to exist in the way our mind makes us believe. Just label. And there's a lot of freedom in that, because the way we deal with things depends on our thoughts. Not so much what other people tell us or don't tell us. It's just different thoughts. So we can control. When we talk in Buddhism, we talk about freedom. We're not talking about shackles and being imprisoned, etc. It's only a mental type of freedom where we learn to let go of our preconceptions that were created by the mind and we now believe to be truly there, independently of our mind just thinking this, that, and the other. And I'm not saying there's no basis for that, but nonetheless, it's merely labeled. It's just thoughts. Right? And the problem we create for ourselves in the form of self-hatred, in the form of low self-esteem. It's pretty funny. It's so cultural. It's got nothing to do with human nature so much, because I mentioned it in some other courses. Tibetans don't even know what we're talking about. There's this famous story when his Holiness met the scientists, and one of the translators, I think it was Geshe, he said to his Holiness, like, he talked about low self, no, someone talked about self-hatred. And his holiness turned to the translator and he said, "What's that?" And I had to take a moment off. The translator had to explain to his holiness what self-hatred is. Because there was neither a word in Tibetan. It was kind of like not liking yourself, which is just an explanation. No word. Low self-esteem, hatred, self-hatred didn't exist, and someone had to explain to His Holiness what it means. So to me, that is so symbolic. For Tibetans don't have that. Not to the degree we do. Of course, sometimes they may like, I made a mistake, that was really stupid. But also guilt. Guilt is also something you don't really find with Tibetans. They move on. Okay, I made a mistake. What's done is done. Can't undo it. All I can do is regret it and try better next time. That is being in accordance with impermanence and in accordance with how the self exists. Now, I'm not saying that Tibetans they don't all know about impermanence and how the self exists. No, of course not. But the whole culture has developed based on those ideas. And without even knowing it, they don't hold some of those absurd ideas we hold in the West, like guilt. Guilt. Or, what I found is quite widespread in Israel, the sense I should not be happy because other people are not. I've heard this, like feeling guilty about being happy. Are you kidding me? You have a personal responsibility to be happy. Why? Because if only if your mind is happy and satisfied, can you bring happiness and satisfaction to others? Right? Only if you put the oxygen mask neck on your own face, can you give oxygen to other people? It's as simple as that. Only if you love and accept yourself can you do that with others. If you're not patient with yourself, you're not going to manage being patient with others. So, likewise, if you want others to be happy, you need to first experience that happiness yourself, that sense of satisfaction, that sense of contentment. And then you could realize, oh my God, it's possible. And I want others to experience the same. Then you practice love. Wish for others to be happy, because you know what it feels like. Right? So how can you not take personal responsibility for being happy? Feeling guilty? That is just... Why? Right? Why would you feel guilty about it? No, it's necessary. Guilt in general. Guilt is an exaggerated emotion. It's the exaggerated version of regret. Regret is like, made a mistake. That was not okay. Okay? I regret that. If I could put back time, I wouldn't do it again. And I'll try my best not to do it again. That's it. Oh, I'm so bad. What did I do? I messed up my children. Because they say so. Because they blame all their problems on me. Right? And I do it with my parents, so. It's like, this is the funniest thing about the West. Nothing has changed about parents loving their children. This hasn't changed. But our weird way of how we relate to our parents, I think we've just taken Freud to a total extreme. We're very good at looking for causes and conditions of our problems, but we're looking in the wrong place. Making our parents responsible. It's scary. I don't know whether you all do that, but certainly where I live, my sister, my family, they all make their parents responsible for their problems. And there's two faults about this. One fault is you're only blaming your parents. You should be blaming your grandparents, your great-grandparents, their parents, and their parents, and their parents, so there's no end to blaming. You know? Get a family tree, you know, and find out who your relatives are, because just blaming your parents is not enough, because then you have to blame their parents, etc. Secondly, we blame all our problems on our parents. But did you ever sit down and say, wow, thank you, I have this quality because of my parents. Thank you so much. Without them, I couldn't walk, I couldn't talk. If they hadn't taught us when we were like, what? Ever since we were born, basically, if they hadn't been around, we wouldn't have learned it later. right? Once you kind of leave home, you're 18, you start learning to talk and walk, it's too late. So the simple fact that you can say shalom because of your parents, because they didn't miss that point. So those simple things, you know how to eat properly, you know so many things that you take for granted. Trust me, if you live in other societies and people can't do things that you take for granted, you realize, wow, right? So we can do certain things that Tibetans, for instance, can't do. And it makes my life easier. Right? In certain ways, there's some advantages, and I learned that from my parents. I learned certain things, and I never spend time appreciating that when I go over all their mistakes. That doesn't make sense. Right? All the good things they've done. They've done this. I think there's more good stuff that they've done than bad stuff, like mistakes they've made. And mistakes, that's what they are. They're mistakes. They're not done intentionally, are they? It's not like, oh, I'm going to really mess up my daughter. Let's see, how can I make sure she needs therapy her whole life? Come on, who does that, right? Okay, so it's bizarre that we live in a world where we treat our parents like that. It's really scary. And with the Tibetans, it's such a great example where you have guys clad in leather, cool bikes, riding around and singing a love song to their mother.
And to Tibet.
Pardon?
And to Tibet.
And to Tibet and their mother, right? Oh, the face of my... There's this one guy, I forget his name now. He's like this cool guy, it's like a video, you have all these music videos. He's got, leather wherever you can put leather. And he's like long hair, and he walks around, and he's got this bike. And then he sings the song, The Beautiful Face of My Loving Mother. How much do I appreciate everything you've done for me? Can you imagine Lady Gaga singing that kind of song? Like, no way, right? So all I'm saying is that Tibetans, and also many Indians still, not all Tibetans, not all Indians, because of course the Western style of life kind of seeps in, but it's still like, no way, you do not leave alone your parents, you do not desert them, you do not, and as I'm saying, I observe this, we love our children, but with our parents it's kind of different, very complicated relationships, right? It's very sad, I think it's really sad to see. Anyway, and it doesn't make sense, seeing causes and conditions, because actually, the reason for all our experiences are not our parents, is the actions we created in the past. Right? So, if we feel our parents messed us up, no, we messed ourselves up. We created the causes and conditions to find ourselves in certain conditions, in certain circumstances. Right? And we're not saying that, because I experienced that, I'm worse than others. We pretty much created the same karma to experience certain circumstances, but always blaming just conditions, it doesn't help us, because then we cannot make any change. So, why am I saying this? Only to utilize what we learn here to make changes when they're necessary, to get out of these thoughts that limit ourselves, right? He did this to me, she did this to me. I can't change that, can't change them, so can't change my situation. That's what we end up experiencing. People feel like, it's got nothing to do with me, my parents messed me up. I can't change my parents. I try maybe, I want them to be like this, like that, but they just don't change. And if they're elderly, they don't change anyway. But that's not what we need to change, because it actually all comes from our mind, and that's the one thing we can't change. The only thing we can change is our own mind. Only thing. You can't change the environment, can create causes and conditions, but there are other people that are responsible for the environment as well, and I can't change them. I can't change my body only to a certain degree. Do some yoga, etc. Yes, I can do, but it's also limited. The one thing I can totally transform is my own mind. So let's start there. Let's start there. That's the only thing. So Buddhism, Dharma, called Dharma, has many different connotations. Dharma means the teachings. But more so, it means reality, truth, and transformation. Transforming our own mind by way of understanding the truth that is reality, right? Transform our own mind in a way in which we remove which is abstract, an exaggerated view of reality, and uncover that mind, that pure mind we all have already. And we can only do so through understanding how phenomena really exist, because our mind right now is obstructed by our wrong sense of reality. That's it, that's what Dharma is all about. And the way to do this is recognizing how the self really exists, right? Okay, now I've covered a lot. Guilt, self-hatred, parents, liberation. Alright, anyway. Let's go back to this. It's not time yet to take a break. No, it's 4:30. Now, going back to verse... What is it? It's chapter 23, verse...
18.
18. Alright.
It's pity there. You said there is a book that explains every word, the meaning in phrases.
Yes. Ocean of Reasoning.
And it's readable. It's also complicated. You can't read it. It's like this, very coded. For Westerners, I mean.
It's difficult.
Also.
It's difficult.
I didn't understand.
Yeah.
But I can give you the name of another book I found the other day. This is a little shorter, and it doesn't give you an explanation of each word, but it's still very helpful. It's called Ornament of Reason by Mapcha Chonchitsundru. Well, I don't know the name. But Ornament of Reason. So the Ornament of Reason is available on Kindle, and it's just a shorter version. It's much shorter, so it doesn't give you the same detailed explanation. Yeah, I just found it the other day. The great commentary to Nagarjuna's Root of the Middle Way.
And then you can read it and understand what it means, because here it's like a labyrinth. I can't understand anything. If I read it on my own.
Yes, you can't. I know. Written in the 4th century.
It sounds strange. I don't understand the word. I just understand the word, but not the meaning of the phrase.
Once it's explained, after you explain it, does it make more sense?
Yeah, of course.
Well, that's the way it's done traditionally. You know, those texts, they were written in a way that it was easy to memorize, right? It sounded nice, it was easy, because people didn't have books at the time, so all they were left with was memorizing, and so, and then it needed to be explained, and that's why we're doing this. But this is a written version of just explaining it. I don't know whether you understand, but those two, Ocean of Reasoning by Lama Tsongkhapa, in combination with this other text, which I've only read a few passages, but I thought it was nice. It gives you a nice kind of summary, and then you have the detailed version of Lama Tsongkhapa's text. And even with Lama Tsongkhapa's text, if you don't understand anything, you understand enough to understand the verses, I think, Suki.
You have to read, I find, you have to read each paragraph a few times, a little bit sing.
Yeah, so no fast food version of the text, yes. But there you go. He asked me for that text a month ago, right? I sent it to him. And at that time I only knew about this one. Like I said, I just overlooked the other one. And so, that's a way to learn it. You just need time.
Mm-hmm.
But it's totally worth it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay. Alright, that's fine. Alright, where did we get to? If error has not arisen, how did it? If error is not. Okay, so that's just the same analysis. One who is committing error, wait. It's still about 3 times. So one who's committing error cannot commit error. So there's no present constantly being in error because there's always a former moment of having been in error. There's always a past moment of being in error, right? So one who was in error cannot commit error now, because that's contradictory. Who's not yet in error, who's wrong in the future, cannot commit error now. Again, that's contradictory. One who is committing error cannot commit because there's always a former moment of past, of like having already committed, and a later moment of not having taken place yet. So you have the same difficulty. Okay? You can't really pinpoint the exact moment where you commit an error, where you're wrong. So that's true. And Doron came to ask me about this. Doesn't that apply to everything? That was one of your questions. And also, like, why doing this? Well, it's basically if engaging in an activity, so we engage in actions, we do things all the time, even just remaining still, that occupies time. It occupies time and space. Well, space depending on the action. If it's just a mental action, no. But walking occupies space and time. It's a continuum in time. So we label the action on moments that are not an action, right? But also it happens at a certain time. But if it existed in and of itself, we would be able to exactly pinpoint the time. We can't do that. Because you can't really find a present. And if you can't really find a present, you can't really find a past and a future in general. But in particular, with like, when does that action take place? In the past, present, and future? Can't find it. So, when we say we check, we analyze, what do we call that? Ultimate analysis. We can analyze things, just kind of, is it a frog? Is it a kangaroo? Is it here? Is it there? Alright, that is just ordinary analysis. Here we're not just engaging in that type of analysis, but we're checking what makes an action an action. Where's the action within the action? We're not just satisfied with, okay, it's an action, so how does it relate to other things? That's usual analysis. No, we are looking at what makes it an action. Can I find that? Can I find exactly the place where I exist and where I don't exist? Right? Subtle atoms. Which atom is part of me, which is part of others? If I really try to find an exact place where I exist, I can't find that. An exact I don't find that. So that is called ultimate analysis because you're looking for what does it make, what does the thing make the thing? And then it starts disappearing. And that disappearance, that not findability, well, that is described as emptiness, right? That not findability of something concrete, because we are looking for something inherent, something intrinsic, something truly and solidly there, the way it appears to our mind. But since that appearance to our mind is mistaken, we end up not finding that. Cannot be found because it was never there, will never be there, and is not there right now. So that's part of this ultimate analysis. The whole text is about this ultimate analysis as in like finding something absolutely there, which doesn't exist.
I want you to ask if this is also the way to clean my karma.
Is this a way to clean your karma? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It is, but it needs a little bit more explanation. It's not like, oh, I thought about it. Karma gone. That'd be nice, right?
Because
But-
karma exists.
Oh, yeah, we had that question before. You asked that question. Okay, so karma. After everything we hear, okay, everything lacks inherent existence. But karma is just a little bit more real, isn't it? Feels that way, right? Karma is just a little bit more real. But let's check. Let's look for karma. Let's find it. Let's engage in ultimate analysis. What is karma? What is karma? Actually means action. Any action? No. The action of a leaf moving in the wind. It's an volitional action. It needs to be an intention coming from the mind, and then that mind gives rise to the body or the speech, associated with that mind or giving rise to other minds. So minds are body, speech, and mind, right? A mind gives rise. That is called a volitional action. That is actually the word, in the strictest sense, the way we use the word karma. But it's oftentimes used in a wider sense, where it doesn't just include the cause of volitional action, it includes the whole process of that cause giving rise to a result, an experience. Okay? So it's kind of like describing the seed and the resultant sprout. The seed being the volitional action that gives rise eventually to a certain experience. That's karma. Alright?
I'm sorry, what kind of an action?
A volitional action. What's the Hebrew word for it?
The motivation.
Yeah.
The motivation.
Like volitional in the sense there's a motivation for engaging in that action. Yes, exactly. So, that's karma. Now let's look at all this. Where's the karma within that? First there's a volitional action. The mind, the motivation, that's part of the karma, but we don't yet call that karma. It's then an activity of maybe beating someone up. But beating someone up is made of moments. Is it that moment? That moment? That moment? That moment? That moment? No, it's none of those moments. It's the previous thought in combination with me beating someone up. That whole thing we call a karmic action. Is there some yellow karma within there? Right? Some intrinsic? No. We call that a karmic action because that now holds the potential for a certain experience in the future. So each, whatever it is made of, it's merely labeled on the basis of certain moments. And because of their connectedness, this action that leads to someone's experience, since it's motivated by a harmful intention, gives rise later on to an experience of suffering that is similar to what I wanted to do to someone else, that experience. Okay? And we'll talk more about the experience, whether that means being beaten up or feeling beaten up. Alright? Okay, it's much more about the experience. So, is there karma to be found? Some kind of karma that's hopping along with everything? No. It's merely the name given on the basis of the process. That's it. So karma is merely labeled, again, not because it doesn't exist, but it's not something intrinsic, inherent, absolute that can be found. It's only labeled on the basis of something other than itself. And that is true for anything. Anything that we say exists is merely labeled on the basis of something other than itself. That's it. What happened?
It breaks everything.
Yes, it breaks everything. It does. It breaks apart everything. What we previously thought was so solid and real, just isn't. Just isn't. And then, once we understand that, we can let go. And we can really dedicate our life towards the welfare of others. Right? Because I'm so preoccupied with this thing I believe in. And it's not just the I believe in, it's my reputation, my praise, my gain, my pleasure. Right? It's those eight worldly dharmas. I'm interested in gain and pleasure and a good reputation and praise. And I'm totally uninterested. I'm craving the opposite of being blamed, lost, displeasure, and being unpopular. Okay? So our whole lives evolves around these. We're so busy. We're so busy to make sure we avoid the first four. No, we gain the first four, or achieve the first four, and avoid the last four. So we're too busy for the benefit of others. Who's got time for love?